Well, sir, it's a few minutes past 7:30 o'clock as we enter the small house halfway up in the next block now. And here in the living room we find Mr. and Mrs. Victor Gook and their son, Mr. Rush Gook, comfortably settled for the evening. Vic lounges in his easy chair with a newspaper. Sade thoughtfully darns socks on the davenport, while young Rush at the library table ostensibly applies himself to academic pursuits. But his mother, chancing to glance at him, remarks,
"Are you really studying there, Rush, or just fooling around?"
I'm certainly not fooling around.
Glad to hear it.
On the other hand, I'm not actually what you'd call studying.
I thought not.
Matter of fact, I'm writing a batch of letters.
Writing letters won't learn your algebra lesson for you.
It'll help my algebra in an indirect way, though. Gov.
Hi there, ho.
Distract you if I read something out loud?
Yeah, but go ahead.
Listen, man.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Henry Walker, City. Dear Mr. Walker, because I wish to devote my entire time to my studies, I hereby resign my membership in the Sophomore Mathematical Research Society. I regret the necessity for taking this step, but I feel that my schoolwork comes first. Yours very truly, Rush Gook.
Thought you did resign from that.
Not formally, I haven't.
I told you 2 weeks ago you
I
had
haven't
to quit.
been attending meetings.
Hmm.
I expect by this time my name's even been stricken from the roll. The thing is, I'm going to see that this letter gets widely circulated.
Hmm.
You understand what that'll do, don't you?
No.
Make a red-hot impression on the teachers.
Oh.
I see where Rush Gook has given up all outside activities in order to devote his time to his schoolwork.
That's what the teacher will say, huh?
That's what all the teachers will say.
Hmm.
Rush Gook is a fine boy. I will give him excellent grades.
Who's this Rush Gook you're praising so highly, Peanut Oil?
I'm just quoting what the various members of the high school faculty will be saying about me day after tomorrow. Appreciate what Mom and I are talking about here?
After a fashion, you plan ostentatiously to resign from various academic organizations with the object in view of impressing your teachers.
Exactly.
Smacks of low cunning.
Oh, I don't know. Mom told me I had to quit all the clubs I joined. Well, heck, long as I got to quit, I might as well take advantage of any opportunities I see.
Still smacks of low cunning.
Okay.
First day of the semester there, he joined societies and stuff where he'd be away from home every noontime of the whole week. Said he'd have to take all his dinners down at the high school. I put the kibosh on that in a hurry.
A wise move.
I'll say. Prepare lovely meals at home and then have one of the family spend $800 eating at the school.
A thought that makes me shudder.
Listen to my letter to Dan Leifertz.
Hmm.
Mr. Daniel Leifertz, City. Dear Mr. Leifertz, I hold my membership in the Shakespeare Dramatic Union close to my heart, but I cannot afford to take any chances with my studies. In order to be sure my schoolwork will not suffer, I am abandoning all outside activities. Best of luck to your excellent organization. Yours very truly, Rush Gook.
Pretty fancy.
Got most of it out of a book.
What book? Book in the bookcase gives all the model letters?
Uh-huh. I selected one where a fella breaks off his engagement with a young lady. Dear Miss Spence, I hold our engagement close to my heart, but my first duty is to my elderly parents. In order to be sure that they do not suffer as a result of my getting married, I hereby relinquish your hand to some better and nobler creature who will, no doubt, cross your path sometime in the future, and so on and so forth.
I found that book in the Miller Park picnic grounds. It had writing in the front. Happy Easter to Chuck and Myrtle, April 1913. Wasn't any last name mentioned, though, to help a person look in the city directory and find out the owner.
Here's what I say to Rooster Davis.
Hmm.
Mr. Edwin Davis, City. Dear Mr. Davis, because of my determined resolution to obtain high grades in my studies this semester, I am hereby resigning from the Boys Nitroglycerin Pep Club. Trusting you and your fellow members will understand and sympathize, I remain sincerely yours, Rush Gook.
Hippity-hop and la-di-da.
Got that one out of the book, too. Most of it. Letter from a fella to another fella apologizing for breaking both his legs.
Mm-hmm.
Dear Mr. So-and-so, because of my determined resolution to avenge your insult of last Tuesday, I was forced to break both your legs. I am hereby regretting the necessity for my action. Trusting you will enjoy your rest in the hospital and hoping the incident will not cause you to limp, I extend fondest greetings to your charming wife and beautiful children, and remain sincerely your humble servant, Bill something or other.
Oh, silliness.
Uh-huh. Serves my purpose, though.
How are you going to get your letters circulated, Andy? so they fall under the eye of the teachers.
Got several schemes in mind.
I suppose you could send them all carbon copies.
No. That'd look too much like a put-up job.
A trifle on the obvious side, all right.
I guess my best bet is to put them on the bulletin board.
They got a bulletin board up at high school?
Oh, sure. Big one. In the first-floor hallway just outside the library. Every teacher and every student in the building stops to look at it 40 times a day.
How many letters you got there?
8.
You're resigning from 8 organizations?
Uh-huh.
If you plaster 8 letters on the bulletin board, they'll take up considerable space on the bulletin board, won't they?
All the better.
Mm.
Teachers will be dazzled.
Mm.
By George, Miss Monroe, look at here. Rush Gook is giving up all his outside activities just so he can devote his time to his subjects. By George, Miss Overraker, you're right. I'm going to help that boy all I can, Miss Monroe. Me too, by George.
Mm.
High-class, airtight, and foolproof, eh?
Yeah. What are these 8 organizations you're resigning from?
Well, Boys Nitroglycerin Pep Club, Shakespeare Dramatic Union, Sophomore Mathematical Research Society, Deep Sea Fancy Diving League, Better English Club, Enthusiastic Order of Football Fanatics, High School Choral Group, Fellowship of Auditorium Ushers.
Mm.
Impressive layout, huh?
Yeah.
Uncle Fletcher's gang of lodges and stuff would make your list look sick.
Uncle Fletcher quite a joiner?
Used to be. Get spruced up of a Sunday to go to church, and his coat lapel almost dragged the ground. It was so heavy with pins and badges. Seems to me they used to say around home, dues alone run him $200 a year.
Listen to the way I resigned from the high school choral group. Mr. Elton Wadhams, City. Dear Mr. Wadhams, you will no doubt be desolate at my absence from future meetings of the choral group, but I wish to be free from all encumbrances as I plan to devote my entire time to my subjects. Sincerely yours, Rush Gook.
Mm.
Get that out of the book?
Most of it. Escaped convict dropping a line to the warden. Dear Warden, you will no doubt be desolate at my absence from the bullpen, but I wish to be free from prison life. So I sawed the bars out of my cell window and departed. Kindly convey my best wishes to the guards. With many thanks for past favors, I remain lovingly yours, number 642.
Oh, that's craziness.
It is manifest the author had his tongue in his cheek.
Serves my purposes, though.
Mm.
Yes, sir, I can just see the teachers grouped around that bulletin board. 8 letters from Rush Gook, resigning from his outside activities in order to devote all his time to studying. That boy's going to get good grades from me, Miss Weichel. Me too, Miss Brand.
Are there any more organizations up at school besides the one you're resigning from?
Sure.
Quite a few?
Oh, a couple dozen, maybe.
Why don't you resign from them, too?
I don't belong to them.
Resign anyway. Make more letters to plaster on the bulletin board.
By George, that's an idea.
Sure.
Well, if you have to resort to stunts like that to get your teachers to put good marks on your report
Peach
card...
of an idea, God. Excuse me, ma'am.
Oh.
Let's see. I resigned from the Student Council, the Diesel Engine Club, the Original Composition Society.
Telephone ring in.
Probably Leland Richard.
Or Miss Stembottom. Answers.
Suppose they got 500 on their mind?
No, Fred's putting in overtime at the foundry this evening.
Hello? Oh, yes, Bluetooth. No, I'm afraid I can't. Well, I've got a bunch of letters to write, and after that I've got a whole smear of homework to do. Oh, is that so? Uh-huh. Good idea. Sure. Well, count me in. Sure, count me in. Okay. Well, I'll talk to you about it in the morning, Bluetooth. You bet. So long, fella. Bluetooth and Smelly and Rooster and Milton are getting up a new club.
They want you to join?
Yeah.
You gonna join?
Oh, sure. I always join stuff when I get a chance.
Which concludes another brief interlude at the small house halfway up in the next block.